What's up, horse racing community? We have a fabulous card for Saratoga Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, giving you a preview of the Grade 1 Whitney, going 1.125 for these 4-year-olds and up for $1 million. What a race. I believe we're looking at 12 horses right now, possibilities of maybe one scratch in here just because it's cross-entered. We will see. But a very good field shaping up for this big Grade 1 race, setting them up for the Breeders' Cup Classic at the end of the year. Giving you our top pick, best bet, long shot plays for this race, along with we'll be doing videos on the full card as well. A lot of great maiden races. Todd Pletcher seems to have brought out all of his 2-year-olds for this week, so we'll see if he's going to be on top in some of those races. But let's dive into this Grade 1 Whitney. Kind of going against the grain, kind of tossed around a couple options. We're sticking with number 10, Skippylongstocking as a long shot price play, or a top pick price play in here. Jose Ortiz gets them out yet again. The second time he will be aboard in a row for Safi Joseph. 24-8 lifetime, 4-2 so far in 2024. Was beat out in the Stephen Foster by Kings Barn and Pyrenees. Finished a third in there with a 97 speed figure. Before that comes out of the Oaklawn Handicap, beating out Red Route 1 and Highland Falls in there as the post-time favorite. 107, big speed figure yet again. Obviously, we're going against National Treasure in here. Try to beat the 9-5, or possibly could be like 4-5 when the gates open. 8-1 is a really good price. The horse has raced twice now in a row on 1 1/8. Comes out of several graded stakes races. 107 career best speed figure in that Oaklawn. And then kind of drops back to a 97. So we need to see a rebound, so to speak, on Skippylongstocking to be able to run big. Another factor, he draws the outside in here. He does have Arthur's Ride, a horse with a lot of early speed, to see who's going to get the break. Obviously, National Treasure is going to go early and try to dictate that pace. I think it's up to Arthur's Ride and Skippylongstocking to obviously challenge for that lead on National Treasure, or to press him so he just doesn't set those easy fractions of possibly going to be like 150. Anything that this race can be ran in the 148s or 149s, I think will open it up a little bit for an outsider other than National Treasure. Now, if you go back and look, National Treasure will be our second pick in here just because of what he's coming out of. The Met, the Saudi, the Pegasus, the Breeders' Cup. I mean, the Saudi Cup being the worst 4th place finish that he's done in his past 5 races, outside of coming out of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. 105, 102, 107 speed figures. But if you look at his last 1 1/8, 149, he finished 4th. And then the Pegasus, 1 1/8, a 150, that's where he won. He was not necessarily on the lead, but close enough to the lead to make it go early in that pace that he wanted. I believe it was like 46-1 and then 111. So they were going pretty quick early, and then he kind of drawed off or backed it off just a little bit. I think we need to see somebody else get to the lead, or at least challenge National Treasure for the lead. And I believe that's where Skippylongstocking and Arthur's Ride could come into play on the far outside. The only thing, it's going to be those two going against each other on the outside speed. National Treasure has nothing on his inside and should be able to get to the rail rather easily. Third pick in here is going to be First Mission, another one that has enough early speed, but he doesn't need the lead. Florent Giroux should sit just off of National Treasure, as he's going to probably get right up in behind him, being another early speed on the inside, but will be on the outside of National Treasure in the 5-post. To his outside, he can let Arthur's Ride and Skippylongstocking go and just settle in behind that group and try to make a run from the 3 or even the 4 path. Done it before, went to the lead in the Stephen Foster, and it caused problems for him. Obviously, they went pretty quick, 48-1. Like I said, National Treasure kind of wants to go probably a little quicker early. So depending on, again, who's going to get the lead, and if anybody's going to contest for National Treasure against the lead, then we could see some pace setups in here for some other horses. National Treasure tried to go to, or First Mission tried to go to the lead in the Stephen Foster and ended up finishing fourth. Just kind of was beat out by King's Barn and Pyrenees kind of late. Other times he's done it sitting in that 3 or 2 spot just off the pace. And I think that's where Florent Geroux needs to set First Mission up to make a pretty good run in the turn. However, he's got to stay close enough to not let those leaders get too far ahead. I think he's got enough late speed to be able to run them down, depending on whoever it could be out front. It's just, what are the fractions going to be? How fast are they going to go? If they go fast early, possibly could cause some problems for First Mission, depending on where he's set up. Would like to see him just off of that pace front runners. Bright Future, another horse that's kind of like a big question mark of what do we do. The only thing that kind of kept us from using Bright Future with Javier and Todd was the Salvatore mile at Monmouth last time out. Only going a mile in there and just beat a pretty weak company. The horse was like even money favorite. Did it coming from off the pace, mid-pack, kind of set up in there. They did go rather quick for a mile, so the speed should be good for Bright Future. I just think he's going to run into a pretty good class of horses. However, he does come out of the Breeders' Cup Classic, beat out by Waidabario, Dermasotogaki. Didn't have anything in there, but did post a pretty good speed figure. So the horse has speed. I just think the prep race for the Whitney was kind of going backwards in that grade 3 Salvatore mile. There just wasn't much class in there, and I think he's going to struggle coming in. However, the workouts look good. Todd Pletcher knows what he's doing. I like Javier getting the mount ahead of Johnny Velasquez in here, or even Irad for that fact. But interesting enough, 5-1, it's kind of like a tough spot for Bright Future. And number 11, Arthur's Ride on the outside with, I think, one horse charge it being on this far outside. Has early speed, has ran a mile and a quarter, has not won a mile and an eighth, but the distance should not be an issue. Has raced at Saratoga before, 3-1-2 at Saratoga for Wilmot. 111 speed figure last time out, career best speed figure. Gonna have to back it up for sure. And I think the horse has to be a player early on in the pace for this young horse that's kind of just been in maidens and optional claimers to be able to do something at 8-1. Probably not going to get a whole lot of money thrown at this horse. So probably could be 10, 12-1 as well. But the workouts look pretty good compared to, again, Skippylongstocking or even First Mission in here. So the horse obviously is going to be a graded stakes runner, but I just don't know if this grade 1 is what Arthur's Ride is ready for just yet. Has all the pedigree out of Tappet, Points of Grace, Point Given on the dam side. Obviously, the horse is training really well. But the big question mark, it goes to Churchill Downs on a sloppy track and tires out. And that was been the worst finish for a 9th place. Breaks its maiden at the 79 level. Again, another big question mark of, is the horse ready for a grade 1 stakes? And our Longshot play in here, kind of been high on the horse since we've kind of been looking through these past performances and kind of giving you our angle. This horse could be our top pick, but again, Longshot play. I like the closing speed of Crouppy. 130 is what the late speed is predicted, or is what the horse has been running. I think if we get Arthur's Ride, Skippylongstocking, National Treasure all going out early, pressing each other for the pace, wanting to run quick or wanting to slow it down, I think Crouppy is going to have quite the pace to run into. Last time out, Belmont at Aqueduct back in July, mile and 3/8. This was the grade 2 Brooklyn. Irad was aboard. Again, the horse comes from way off the pace, 7th, I believe, and falls just short of beating Next, and finishes second in there. I believe it was like 9 lengths, but still a big run late for a horse that got out really early. and the odds of 4-1. Ran a 98 speed figure. Time before, we're at Saratoga in the Suburban. 93 speed figure, again, comes from way out of it, way off the pace. They were going really fast early in this one, and Kruby was able to catch Boondoog and beat him out again in there by half a length. So I think Kruby's going to get the setup needed to make a late run. Out of all the other late runners, I think Kruby has the best chance. Another one that comes from Dubai as well back in March. However, did not do anything in there with Luis Saez finishing 10th. Goes to the Pegasus before, again, with National Treasure. Finishes third behind National Treasure and Senor Buscador. Biggest win is probably the Suburban or even the Pennsylvania Derby, or the 5th in the Pennsylvania Derby. So the Suburban, probably the best win for Kruby as of recently. Irad has been on the horse the past 2 times. Obviously, he's figuring things out of when to push that button and when to go. I think Kruby at 15-1, probably going to be a little bit bigger of a price in here as well, is going to be one to take into consideration for a win, play, show wager, exacta, trifecta wager, definitely, at a very good price. Like I said, Rapoli Stables, St. Elias Stables, Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz, out of Curlin with Smart Strike, The Dam. Don't forget about me out of Malibu Moon. Looks really well. 4-2 and 2 third places at Saratoga as well. So has familiarity with the Big Sandy. 2 times back winner at Big Sandy going 1.25 miles. Several 1 1/8 races, 2 wins, I believe, or 3 wins at the distance. So very familiar out of most of these at the distance and has several wins going at this distance. However, they're not in the graded 1 category like First Mission or National Treasure, Skippylongstocking. But I think this horse is a really good price play, currently at 15-1. Number 7, Kruby being our long shot inside post picks for the Grade 1 Whitney. So there's our picks for race 11, Saratoga Saturday, August 3rd. Sticking with Skippylongstocking, National Treasure being our 1 and 2. First Mission and Kruby kind of rounding out our 3rd and 4th spots in here. Kruby being a very good price option for a long shot play of a win, play, show wager. Kind of a sneaky horse. If he has the pace to run into, be watching for Kruby running from the clouds and hopefully can get past National Treasure, First Mission, Skippylongstocking to bring home a big Grade 1 win at a big price. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to comment down below your best bet for the Whitney or any horses that you like for the weekend. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be doing the other graded stakes races on the card as well shortly after this. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications to get those as well. We wish you luck. Make some money.